Essentially, we are making a massive transformation here at BodyHoliday. Huge amount of infrastructural work, first of all. A lot of the old hotel is being redone in terms of a totally new sewage system, sewage treatment plant, new electrics, new plumbing, new air conditioning systems. So a lot of the bones that the hotel works on is being completely renewed. A lot of back-of-house investment, so new kitchens, both in tower and the main kitchen, being totally redone to international standards. And then on the front of house, we're adding new restaurant facilities down on the beach. We're not new, but we're replacing the existing ones with more modern concepts and ideas. A lot of bringing a lot of organic and fresh and wellness food to the front for our guests.
I want to congratulate the BodyHoliday for an exceptional job. One of the things that I got to do when I became Minister of Tourism was to celebrate 50 years in the business with the Sunswept Company. And it really is an amazing story that started with 12 rooms on the beach at Malabar Beach. And that's exceptional. And what we're seeing here today represents a very strong nexus between tourism and the construction industry. And I think it's a very tangible way of showing people how tourism can contribute to other sectors and how it can drive economic growth, because oftentimes that conversation comes up. So there are 400 people here on the site that are working across multiple contractors, and they're spending about $38 million is the worth of the project. And this is exceptional. This is a tremendous injection into the local economy. And again, it proves the might and the power of tourism as an economic driver for our country.
This is very, very important. As I keep saying, that given the limited land mass that we have, particularly land that we can use for tourism, it's so important that we continue to maximize the output on a per acre basis. And so the two ways that you can do that is by either adding more density, by adding more rooms, or by upgrading your property so that basically clients are going to pay more and you're providing more services. Those services generate more revenue, but also need additional staffing. So there's two mechanisms in which you can look to be able to improve the output, the economic output on a per acre basis.
Additionally, the main part of the renovation is we're actually changing 100 rooms and totally gutting and upgrading 100 rooms on the resort. BodyHoliday over the last 2 years has been voted about fourth in the world in the destination spa market in the major publications overseas in the US and the UK, and our objective is to be number one. So this is giving us the bones and infrastructure to do that. At the end of the day, that's all great, but it's the service that counts. And so a huge amount of effort is going into training, new training systems, standard operating procedures, and software integration, good connection to the tour operators in the markets, and all these things, so that as well as sort of the hardware that we work with, we're seeing a big upgrade in the people, in our HR complement systems. It's going to really make a difference, and we're aiming to be the #1 holiday of wellness in the world.
Le Sport has always been an amazing brand, has really distinguished itself over the years in the marketplace. And I very much cherish and support the ideal of becoming #1, because not only is Le Sport brand becoming #1, but Saint Lucian itself is also being strongly affiliated with being the best. So wellness is a huge market. We've seen Soufriere and also what Le Sport have been able to do over the years in that particular area, and it's an area that we have as a government targeted to continue to look to enhance. So not only what they're doing here, but what they're proposing to do at Rendezvous later down the road are two things which we think are going to help support that particular market positioning.
St. Lucia does exceptional as a wellness destination, and leading that charge is the BodyHoliday. It certainly is the #1 health and wellness concept in the Caribbean, in St. Lucia. And recently, Travel and Leisure, a very prestigious magazine, has just rated it as #4 in the world. And it has just been nominated as well among the top resorts in the world by another major travel agent group, and that is the Virtuoso Consortium. And that is a major accomplishment to be nominated by Virtuoso. which really is speaks of luxury and opulence and that kind of thing. So I think it is an amazing feat by a Saint Lucian homegrown company. I think all of us really have to be proud of what this company has been able to do. They employ on a full-time basis 400 Saint Lucians. So the economic contribution is significant with the 155 rooms that they operate here.
In December, BodyHoliday turns 30. So we were one of the pioneers in the wellness field in the world. And so we've had 30 years of building a wellness brand. And you know, that it takes a lot of time. And it's extremely competitive market at the moment. It's becoming more and more competitive. But I have to say that Saint Lucia as a destination is also supporting, because you know, the overall wellness that one experiences when it comes to Saint Lucia is a natural spirituality to the land. So you know, it kind of lends itself to a product like this.
Well, look, when you're being promoted as being number one, as I said to you, Le Sport benefits, but so does Saint Lucia. Because then people start thinking of Saint Lucia as a wellness destination. So automatically there's an aura that's created. So a lot of other people who may not have had the same level of facilities as Le Sport can also now hope to see that market be able to grow. There is no additional rooms other than the villas that they're putting into the facility. The next phase of the project now talks about adding, I think it's another 100 rooms.
More or less. Yeah.
Another 100 rooms. So, but this was necessary work in order to be able to build that foundation to be able to expand, because you cannot add an additional 100 rooms and not grow your support facilities. So it means that the restaurant and the kitchen and all those public facilities have to be larger before you can build the additional rooms. So this is a phased approach towards an increase in capacity. But right now, the initial goal is to be able to enhance the quality of services. Therefore, there will be more people employed in delivering those services, as well as now people paying a bit more to be able to come on this special vacation.
The SLHTA just had their AGM, and they actually reported a small effort from them has actually contributed over $1 million EC in agricultural production a year in terms of what the hotels in that cluster purchase. And this is without the bigger properties. These are just a cluster of smaller boutique hotels coming together and contributing $1 million to the agricultural sector. I think the estimate is somewhere in closer to 10 million collectively as a sector in terms of what they purchase from local farmers. When we think of a dollar, so think of a hotel employee being paid. That employee takes that dollar, goes to the supermarket. That supermarket pays another employee. And that employee goes to Lucelec, pays an electricity bill. Lucelec takes that dollar, pays it to their employees. And Lucelec's employees go and board a public transportation. And that bus driver takes that dollar and then goes to Wasco and pays a water bill. And then Wasco takes that dollar and then pays that same dollar to its employees. So the economic contribution of tourism is so impactful that we have not been able to measure it accurately as a country. And I think that therein, we haven't been able to properly capture the importance of tourism to the social and economic development of our country. And so it is important, as we go the next step, that we must institute what is called a tourism satellite account, so that we can properly measure the indirect and the induced contribution that tourism makes to the gross domestic product of the country.